Hello, I'm Bookface. Now, if you don't know what lumberjack folklore is, I feel like I was gradually sounding more southern as I said that. You should check out my previous videos, which I feel like some of them explain it much better. But if my blatant self-promotion is ineffective on you, then quite simply, lumberjack folklore is a bunch of goofy stories from the 1800s in America. There are some myths in history that have very deep purpose and a notable significance in society and life and yada yada. These ones do not. These are the dumb jokes that people laugh at with an unreasonable intensity for no real reason, no matter how many times they've seen it.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
This scene is exactly what I'm trying to say. This scene gets me every single time, and I will not apologize for it. I could watch this 1,000 times, and I would still be laughing so much. With all that out of the way, let's jump right in. Woo! First up, we have the Sandhill Perch, which honestly sounds so normal compared to most of the other creatures in lumberjack folklore. I think you meant the Klogitska. Yes, this is the Klogitska. Gonna have fun trying to spell that. This was a fish that lived in the dust bowl. This creature swam in the air and faced backwards so no dust got in its eyes. And I like how this particular chunk of information sort of acts like the weird thing about it swimming in the air is that it goes backwards. Also, random note, because I don't have that much written down. In my drawing, if you'll notice the fins are all weird. That's basically because I took the fins from like a regular perch and just flipped them backwards to sort of indicate that it swims backward, because otherwise I'd just be drawing a fish. Which I still kind of did, but you know, I'm trying to do something different. Apparently I just started aging rapidly during that sentence. Okay, so you know what time it is. Science time. So my theory for this one, to add science to the nonsense, is the swim bladder, which I'm pretty sure is present in most fish. So it makes gas to float in water or not float. It's like the ballast in a submarine. Weighing more to go down, it makes it weigh less to go up. So my hypothesis is this swim bladder produces something like helium or some other similarly light substance, since technically speaking, most creatures don't produce helium. Also, a point I put in here that doesn't really have any scientific backing or note to it whatsoever. I basically just hypothesized if you could use a dragonfly as bait. I don't know, but I just like the visual of a dragonfly tied to the end of some fishing line and it's just buzzing around. That is all. Next point. So, last bits of science to this. I feel like maybe it just drifts through the air. It does a lot less propulsion of itself, since flapping the fins enough to get propulsion through the air would be rather difficult, and this also lets it conserve energy. And my theory also goes that it stores up the limited water from the air, maybe some specialized kind of gills, or maybe like the thing functions like a lungfish. I don't know what it eats. I have no idea what it could possibly eat. Bugs, maybe. Open its mouth for flies to come in. That's not for me to say. I'm already making up quite a bit here. Moving on. Next up we have the Next up we have the bald-tailed cat, which is a creature that remembers. Do you remember the mountain lion? This creature resembles a mountain lion, but it has a really long tail with a hardened ball at the end. The science name, the science name for this bad boy is Felis cardoglobosa. I feel like I was about to have a stroke reading that. And it's related to other creatures in lumberjack folklore called the dingmall and the silver cat, neither of which I have drawn. But you'll just have to watch out for future videos. Better subscribe so you know what these things are. Slaps YouTube channel. This bad boy can fit so many weird cats. Okay, so back to start time. Tail clubs are, a thing the ankylosaur. These things are typically evolved by large, slow herbivores who can't run or hide, like the ankylosaur. Or one of my favorites, the glyptodont, which also has a club at the end of its tail. Now, this doesn't really make sense with the bald-tailed cat, because one, it's not an herbivore. I don't think there are any species of feline that are actually herbivores. And secondly, it doesn't sound like some big, chunky, tank-looking creature, so it's probably pretty fast. So if it can run and hide, why would it need a club? So here's my thought, which technically I think part of it got confirmed as I was researching. It's used for predation, which is to hunt things and get food. Now the big bone club that real life animals have with it, they're big. It's like swinging around a sledgehammer. But what if this one's more like,
A few moments later.
I thought I'd have more of a idea here.
A few moments later.
So basically, it's smaller, but it's assisted by the fact that since the tail's much longer, you can get a real, like, whipping action, just like you're starting a Jacksepticeye video. But, yeah, so just really get that slingshot action, enhance the damage capabilities, and, oh, it's like the towel. It's like when you spin the towel and you... Lastly, we have the Hympum Hog bear. Scientific name, Ursus unamorsus emmentoporcus. Oh, and you might wonder why I didn't say scientific with such disdain this time. It kinda looks like that this creature was taken with a bit more seriousness. Like, where most lumberjack folklore things are, you wouldn't believe what I saw down by the river. This one seems like it was actually a documented, like, bear seen by real people and possibly thought to be, like, a subspecies of bear or something. A little more actual science to it, which makes sense in its description, which we'll get to in a second. As much as the scientific name still sounds really silly, it could actually be a scientific name. I had a little heart attack. I thought I wasn't recording for a second. Hympum Hog bear is a small brown bear with a pointy or a pug-like nose and curly fur. Yes, let's get that ugly, cute pug bear. I'd like to hope that the person who was recording this, like, you know, written down, meant to type pig and pug was just a typo, and he was just like, we're going with it. And later on, as like the myth evolved, I suppose, it became thought that bacteria-filled saliva was able to produce this paralytic musk.
Well, maybe it's just because you're ugly.
It loves to eat pork and will rip apart pigs alive. That was brutal. And it was thought to live near the Columbia River in California. So science.
Science time.
Like Bigfoot, supposedly, is just a bear. That's it. It's a bear. And this is why I haven't brought it up in my other 11 lumberjack folklore videos, even though it's one of the more well-documented and well-known ones. I'm pretty sure it's just a bear. It was a little underwhelming. There we have 3 more creatures of lumberjack folklore. This one was fun. It was nice. It was short, sweet, and silly. Could go into a little bit of science without feeling like I'm trying to defy the laws of physics. I think it felt like that last time I did this. Lumberjack folklore is just fun. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Check out the other lumberjack folklore video. And if you think they're funny for some reason, maybe share them with people. I want to grow my channel, but it's kind of difficult. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Bye.